Now I know many of you have been asking me about more information relating to the Gerber Dual Force, and I didn't have anything to tell you until now. Gerber has finally posted all of the formal information. We even have some references to the actual price that you'll be able to buy this tool at, as well as an approximate release date. So in this video, we're going to talk about everything we know about the Gerber Dual Force so far. All right, now let's go over the basics. Number one, this tool is going to be 12 ounces in weight, so very similar to the weight of a Leatherman Surge. These are pretty much holster-based tools. You're not going to be putting them on with a pocket clip. It doesn't come with one. It does, however, come with a sheath that you can attach to your belt both horizontally and vertically, depending on how you like it. The MSRP for this tool will be $100. However, we have some information that shows that it's going to end up being about $80 when it gets sold by the distributors. And that is an incredible price point, especially when something like the Leatherman Surge right now is about $125, $135 from Leatherman's website. So that's already a really good starting point. Now, why is this so different? Well, first of all, what has been done here is not something we have ever seen before, starting with that plier head. That plier head is definitely the big main attraction. So first of all, we now know from information on Gerber's website, all of which will be linked below, that this will be a combination of forged plates that have been held together either by rivets or will be welded together. And this is going to make the plier head extremely strong. Much stronger than the cast plier heads that most multi-tools, actually pretty much all multi-tools, are made of. So that's really good when you consider that this is going to probably have more force applied to it. And that's another thing that they're changing with this. They're moving the handles closer together at rest, which means that when you have a larger nut, you won't have to reach with two hands to try to bring them together, so you can apply more force. Some really well thought out applications here. On top of that, we also now can confirm 100% that this tool will have a form of wire cutter. And instead of it being where you would expect between the plier ends here, it's actually located below in this area. This is similar to the way the Surge has hard wire cutters in the internal cavity right there for additional pressure. That's a very good thing as well. Now, moving on, we're just going to run through all of the other implements. A lot of these are going to be familiar because they come from the Gerber center drive. So the first one, of course, is the claim to fame, this center axis bit holder. And it is every bit as good as they market it. I have to say, I have my qualms with the center drive, but this thing is actually amazing. On top of that, it has the same blade, which is a little bit longer than most of the other multi-tool blades. And I have to say, I really like this blade as well. Now, it also contains two other implements on the outside, all accessible one-handed. A saw and a file. What we now know about that file, because we couldn't see it in the original pictures, is that it's three-sided, meaning it will be able to cut mild steel and give you a metal cutter of some sort, which is a really nice little addition. How good the file will be, I mean, we won't know until we have it, but so far that's a nice little addition. On top of that, it will have a chisel end, and if it's anything like what I saw on the Lockdown, it'll be very useful. I think a lot of times for like scraping, taking like stickers off and that kind of thing, I think it'll be very useful for that purpose. Now, the Dual Force also has storage for 2 bits. Now, the original center drive had storage for 1. This will have storage for 2. The other thing is you will be able to access those bits on the outside without having to open the tool in any way. So the 2 bits and the 4 other implements can all be accessed without opening the pliers. I mean, who made that, Gerber? Well done. I mean, I'm really genuinely impressed. Considering, well, looking at that Gerber rescue, yeah, I don't know, maybe you have two different design teams, but whoever designed that dual force is doing a fantastic job. That's all I gotta say. Now, if the quality on this tool is good, I think you're gonna win in 2022. There's no question about that. Now, why am I so excited about this tool? Besides the fact that it's an incredibly well thought out offering from Gerber, I think they made omissions that make me so happy. Number one, there's no bottle opener or weirdness on this tool. It's nothing but the business end of 4 long implements. Now you might wonder, why not scissors? Why not scissors? And I think they made exactly the right choice not including one. Because here's my question for you. Is this the scissor you want? Is this the scissor you want? Or is this the scissor you want? The truth of the matter is you never have the right scissor in the moment. You always need like a couple of different types. And for that purpose, I think they made the right decision because I'd rather have the dual force and carry a pair of electrician's scissors, which are going to get me a lot farther than any of the multi-tool scissors. And that includes the one we find on the Leatherman Surge. As good as these are, they're not going to compete with these, and they're not going to compete with these. And also, they're going to struggle to be as precise as something like the Victorinox scissors. So they fall into a very weird middle ground. They're good, but they struggle on either end of the spectrum. So the fact that they didn't include the scissor here, I think was a really good call. Now, speaking of the Surge, and I think the Surge is still an incredible tool, no question. The Surge pairs very well with something like a Knipex Cobra. This is a 180 version, which is about 7 inches. These two together get a lot of work done. The thing is, though, you're depending on the cutters of the Leatherman Surge. And the truth is, this still can't do what this can do. It cannot cut up at the tip the way a pair of diagonal cutters or dikes can do. And the thing is, a combination of the dual force and this may be more effective than this and this. We don't know for sure. Obviously, the plier option is not going to be as good as these, but it's going to be closer to this than this is to this, right? So I am very interested to see how this plays out. If it's as good of a quality as I hope it is, it's also made in Taiwan. Yeah, I think a lot of tradesmen are going to be very, very, very happy. Very happy. Because this is a money maker. This thing is a money maker. No proprietary bits. It can do a lot of heavy lifting. It has the ability to open far wider than any other multi-tool can do, including the Leatherman Crunch. I'm very excited. And it looks like it's going to be coming out sometime in the first quarter. Now, if it's anything like the lockdown, it could be pushed back a little bit. But we're seeing it in a magazine from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I'm gonna guess March to May, somewhere in there. Hopefully on the earlier side. I cannot wait to get my hands on one and start testing it because it may end up replacing a lot of the heavy duty multi-tools that I use from time to time and put into bags. I think for the first time I could potentially justify this as a build around me tool for a toolkit. And that's something I probably will do as well. So I hope this is informational for you. I'm also going to put a link to Gerber's website. They also have their video for the center drive already up on YouTube. So you can find all that down below. Thanks for tuning in. And when it comes out, don't worry, we will be testing it for sure. Have a good one.